Hi and welcome back to the Spruce Grove Public Library's YouTube channel, SGPL Library Kids. Today we are carrying on with our read aloud for the month of May. We're doing this one. If you can just see there, it's called Breaking Stalin's Nose by Eugene Yelchin. So this is our pick for the month because we're doing historic fiction for this month when we're doing our virtual reading club for kids. So if you haven't been on it already, then do check it out. It's you go to our homepage and then you follow the links. And then on there you've got crafts, activities, recipes, all sorts of stuff every single month. So do check that out. So we are doing this book because it's super awesome. If you haven't read much historical fiction, it's one of my favorite genres. So do check that out. It's all about other peoples, places, times. So it gives you really good insight into how other people have lived, and it's a great contrast to how we live today. And it gives you an idea of how different things are and how we should appreciate what we have. So we are going to continue where we got to. We're up to chapter 21. And if you haven't already followed along, then do go back, read the other chapters along with us, and then catch up. So chapter 21. We walk from the cafeteria in pairs holding hands. Talking is not allowed. I take the time to think about Four Eyes. We all saw the guards shoving him into the car. They did it the same way, doubling him over and pushing him in, as they'd done to my dad last night. Now, squeezed between the guards, Four Eyes is riding to Lubyanka prison, probably smiling his crazy smile at them. Why did he do it? Why did he take the blame for something he didn't do? I imagine the car stopping at Lubyanka's gates, the guards stepping out, looking inside. He studies Four Eyes, waves the gates open. Is Four Eyes scared? He must be scared, wondering what will happen inside. Nothing will happen, of course. He's just a kid. Kid or not, they'll probably search him for concealed weapons. They won't find anything. What can they find? A snowball? And then they'll take his clothes away and give him prisoner's pajamas. Prisoner's pajamas always have stripes on them. They'll probably be too big for him. I doubt they have kids' sizes in there. And then the guards will lock him in a prison cell. Will he be alone, or will there be others in the cell? What if there are real criminals in there? What if the enemies of the people, spies and wreckers, are in there? What if my dad is in there too? No, that's impossible. They don't lock a hero in a cell. But Finkelstein's dad could be there. His mom is probably in the women's quarters. His dad could be sitting in that cell, all worried when the doors open and his son walks in. That'd be something to see. I stop walking, and people bump into me, and the ranks get confused. Keep in line, children, keep in line, calls Nina Petrovna. Someone punches me in the back, and I fall in with everybody again. How stupid of me. I should have guessed it right away. Four Eyes took the blame so he would be taken to Lubyanka. What a clever guy. He figured out how to get inside. He did exactly what he wanted, and I helped him. Well, not directly, but it doesn't matter now. Imagine how happy he'll be to see his dad, and how happy his dad will be to see him. I wonder if they'll have prison cells for whole families. Tonight they could be together, talking away. And who knows, maybe his parents aren't enemies of the people after all. Maybe they were arrested by mistake, like my dad. Soon Stalin will let them all go. And if not, Four Eyes is clever. He'll think of something. Nina Petrovna holds the classroom door open and we file in. She pats every passing head, counting. I smile at her. I can't help it. By the look of her face, I know the Pioneers' Rally is back on track. Soon I will see my dad. Soon I will be a pioneer. Soon everything will be good again. But just as I'm getting in, Vovka Subakin jumps out from behind the door and slams me into the wall. Nice work, Americans. His face is so close, his spit is all over me. Let others take the blame, that's the pioneer spirit. Chapter 22. As the proverb goes, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, said Nina Petrovna, looking out at us from behind her desk. We should have known better than permit Finkelstein to remain in our ranks after his parents were arrested. We have failed, class, slackened in our vigilance, but this will not happen again. Nina Petrovna rises and walks to where the group photograph of our class hangs on the wall. And then she blackens Four Eyes' face with her ink pen. That's what we do to pictures of enemies of the people. Do you see? It's almost like they don't exist. And it usually feels good, but not this time. Four Eyes is not an enemy. He just wanted to see his family. Satisfied now, Nina Petrovna turns away from the picture. She says, thanks to Finkelstein, we have very little time left to prepare for the Pioneers' Rally. But this will stop us from doing an excellent job? No, we yell. That's the pioneer spirit, children. Drums and bugles line up by the blackboard. Zajcik, bring the banner. We line up in a flash, eager for Nina Petrovna's next command. But for some reason she's staring at the class photograph again. I look at it too. The black ink glistens, still wet, on Four Eyes' face. When Nina Petrovna turns around, she looks serious and determined. Children, she said, your teacher has a confession to make. Everyone gets really quiet. We've never heard a teacher confess to the students before. For some time, and contrary to my Stalinist principle, she said, I've been forced by my superior to keep silent. Here she looks at the principal's office right above our classroom, and then she looks back at us significantly, making sure we all understand she's talking about our principal. But in view of a vicious act of terrorism that happened in our school today, I refuse to be silenced any longer. Listen carefully, children. This is something I should have told you before. She takes a deep breath and says, we have another individual in this class who is a child of the enemy of the people. My dad always tells me to breathe through my nose if I choke on something. This way you won't suffocate. But this is worse than choking. I can't breathe at all, not even through my nose. I glance at the door, judging the distance. If I run to it, she won't be able to stop me. But I don't run. Nina Petrovna says, Sasha Zajcik, and she points her finger at me. Then everyone cranes his neck to take a good look at the child of the enemy of the people. I squeeze my eyes shut. Suddenly the weight of the banner I'm holding is unbearable. In the next moment, it hits the floor. Pick up the banner, Zajcik, Nina Petrovna says calmly. I open my eyes. Nina Petrovna is not even looking at me. It was all in my imagination. She's facing the back of the class, her finger aimed at Vovka instead. Subakin, why don't you tell us what your father was accused of? Wrecking, wasn't it? People gasp and turn to gape at Vovka. Someone whistles. When I finally look myself, Vovka is rising from his seat slowly, drilling into Nina Petrovna with the same scary eyes he turned on me in the boys' toilets. You should know, children, that Subakin's father was executed as an enemy of the people, said Nina Petrovna. Does it explain his hideous anti-Soviet behavior and the likely fact he was conspiring with Finkelstein? What do you think, children? But before anyone has time to answer, Vovka flies at Nina Petrovna and grips her by the throat and begins to strangle her. Nina Petrovna's face turns red and her eyes bulge. She makes gurgling noises and starts kicking up her legs. Nina Petrovna and Vovka knock things to the floor and bump into desks. Everyone jumps up. Some are screaming, but most are laughing. I know the pioneers never get involved in fights, but before I know what I'm doing, I join in and try to separate them. Now there are 3 of us stumbling and grunting and bumping into desks for what seems like a long time, until someone runs to fetch my fetch and the others, and soon they are dragging Vovka and me off to the principal's office, with Nina Petrovna staggering behind and sobbing. And that's where we're going to leave off today, so come back and join us next time. Thank you for joining us for Virtual Storytime this week. If you enjoyed this story, come and visit us in person at the library, give us a call or message us, and we will help you find more books, movies, video games, TV series, and so many more programs and services that we can offer you, all for the small price of a library card, which of course is free. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, SGPL Library Kids. So thank you once again, and bye-bye.